Recording. Let me share my screen. So we're talking about Pete's calculation and the rest to know how to plot the psychological levels and all of that. So like I had right here, I said that the types of currency we have and their Pete's calculation. So at the second decimal place was the what's it called? Was how to calculate 100 pips. So now the last one that I want you to know is the first decimal place. Now the first decimal place, let me clear this one out. The first decimal place is how to calculate your 1,000 pips. I've dealt how to calculate what's it called? How to calculate 10 pip, 1 pip, 10 pip, 100 pips, and now let's proceed to how to calculate the 1,000 pip. So I'm going to deal with that. I'm also going to deal with the JPY pips calculation. So once I deal with the JPY pips calculation, we're going to move into how to plot your psychological level and how to calculate it using pips calculation. Now, pips calculation is what is going to let you to be able to perfectly plot those your psychological levels out. Then we're going to move into support to resistance. I'm just going to try to round it all up today in one video so everyone else that comes back to watch it can understand it. I think Emmanuel is not coming in, so let's type this. So yeah, the first decimal place, is what is known as 1,000 pips in the calculation of US dollar non-JPY pairs. Now, why I'm highlighting this and giving you like this, because I want you to know that, okay, now JPY pairs is what we've been talking about. How to calculate pips on JPY, on non-JPY pairs, rather, sorry, on non-JPY pairs, what we've been talking about. You get, on non-JPY pairs. So after I'm done with that 1,000 pips, I'm going to move into how to calculate pips on JPY pairs. So, like I said, we knew that the current price, which you can see on this green side right here, is 1.27372, which I have currently right here also. You get. So now let's know how to. So the first decimal place is what is known as 1,000 p, meaning that's what you're going to start your calculation. So if this is your current price, 1.27372, what is the first decimal place? Our 2. So now our 2 is where you're going to start. You're going to be starting to calculate your 1,000 people. So plus, you're going to be plus 10000. You get. How do you see it now? So these two here, if you're going to calculate that, you're going to have 2 gives us 2,773, and we have 1.337372. Now that's our 1,000 pips. As if price moved 1,000 pips from the current price, 1,000 pips. So on your own, go and do more understanding on how to calculate pips like this on US dollar pair. So now let me use, let me use let me talk about calculation of pips on the pairs that are JPY. How to calculate pips on pairs that have the what? That have the JPY as their currency. You understand? So for example, let's say the current price, or let me just start. Okay, let's say the current price. Let's use this one here. Look at it here, USD Let's use USD as an example. So USD let's say the or let me go on the pair and show you, and let's check for the current price together so that we can all follow up to understand. So USD look at where market closed. Look at this. The current market price is 149.73, 149.730. Let's go back to our charts. We have 149.730. Kindly mute 149.730. This it has to be points, not comma. Now this is the current price, right? This is the current price on USD. So now, how are you supposed to calculate this current price that we have here right now? Everything on this left-hand side, you can screenshot it, go like the videos I've made before, go through it, screenshot, take notes, and get better. So USD current price is 149.73. Now, where do you start to calculate your pips, your 1 pip from? Now, in the JPY pip calculation, you start from the second decimal place. That's where you start from. You start from the second decimal place to calculate your 1 pip. Meaning that if the current price is 149.73, right? Let me move this up, take this down, bring this down. Okay. Let's say your current price is 149.7. Now, what's the second decimal place here? 3 is where it starts from, right? So now 3 is where your 1 pip is going to be. So for example, we have 149.730. So if you're going to add 1 pip to it, plus you will now have 0.010, right? Now, what's going to be our final calculation? 149.740. Now, that's how we calculate our 1 pip from the first decimal, second decimal place. Now, we know that, okay, our 10 pips is going to start from what? Our 10 pip calculation is going to start from the first decimal place. But let's do an example on the second decimal place again. So now the new current price is what? 149.740. How are we going to come about our new 1 pip calculation? It's going to be like I said before, second decimal place 010. What are we going to have? 149.750. Now, that's 1 pip. So 10 pips calculation is going to start from what? And this is going to be the new current price. So once I do 10 pip calculation, you're going to have an idea of where the next is going to be. So how are we going to have our 10 pip? So now let's say the current price, which is here. We know that 10 pips in JPY, when you're calculating your 10 pips, it starts from where? Let me see. The second decimal place. The second decimal place. No, sorry. The first decimal place is what is known as 10 pips in JPY pips calculation. You can see how it is. So the first one is here. In JPY pip calculation, from you start from the second place to count your pip. The second place, meaning these three right here. That's where you start to count your 1 pip from. Now the next one we have this, the first decimal place, what is known as your 10 pips. So your first decimal place is going to start from this 7. So if you're going to do a calculation on how to get our 10 pip move from there, we're going to have 149.730 plus 100. You're going to know, okay, we're going to have 149.800. Now I believe you all learned how to calculate mass in school. So you see that now. Our new price is going to be from our current price being this, is going to be this now. As if you are calculating a 10 pip move on JPYPS, 10 pip move. Now this one here was 1 pip move from here to here, was when price moved 1 pip. That was the new price. Right? Let me do one more example so that we can move forward. I want to teach you guys how to calculate pips using psychological level. So now the current price here was 149.83. We all know if we add 10 pips to that, we are going to have let me move this closer. I'm taking my time to like explain this for you guys, cause I want you guys to really understand how to plot the psychological levels on your chart, because psychological levels are very important levels. They are significant zones where the big banks place their entry levels. So now, see, this is going to be our new price. I think that cleared up. So 149.930. How did we come about 0.930? We all learned maths in school. What do we do? 0 here, 3, 8 plus 1, 9, and like that. So now, price has just moved 10 pip again from this current price being 149.830 to this one. I believe you all understand. If you don't understand, let me know so I can move into how to identify these psychological levels on the charts. Ayo, did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. 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 What about you other people here? You guys understand them?
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, try your best. That's good. So you can go over the other the videos I'm gonna upload later and check it out. So like, sit down, listen to it. You have the videos to yourself, you can watch it over again. Go on the internet, learn more. So yeah. So I've taught you how to calculate pips on JPY pairs. I've taught you how to calculate pips on non-JPY pairs. So now, how do you identify the psychological levels? So as I was saying now, like I said previously, psychological levels are price points in financial market that hold significant meaning for traders, mainly due to their simplicity and ease of remembrance. Typically, these levels are round up numbers, right? Now, how do you get these round up numbers on your charts? That's what I'm going to be teaching you guys. So now, let's see. Traders tend to anchor their decision around this level, leading to increased buying and selling pressure when price approaches and surpasses them. A nice way to think about psychological levels that traders become cycles when price near them, meaning that once price has gotten to this level like this, the traders are, oh, okay, it's time to like take your trading positions from it. You understand? So now, for example, if USDJPY is approaching a round up number like 100, traders may be more likely to buy or sell at that level as they may feel like it presents an important milestone, meaning it presents an opportunity for them to take a trade. Simply if the next paragraph is simply if USDPY has previously bounced off a certain price level, they may see that level as a key support and resistance level. So now psychological levels, like I said previously, are key levels, key support and resistance levels. So now let me show you. Let's go to USDJPY charts. We just talked about how to calculate pips on USDJPY, and we use, for example, the current price, right? Let me go back to my GBP USD chart and show to you guys. Like I said, we calculated the 10 pip movement, right? Sorry, this stuff is disturbing my screen. Okay, cool. So the 10 pip movement from here, right? The current price was 149,730. The new 10 pip movement to 149,830. The other movement was 149,930. So now that means price moved 20 pips. So if we go on USGPY, we're going to go and figure out a way to plot our psychological level. So now USGPY, we go there. Our current price being where this red zone stop. You can see it, 179,730. If we plot our next line being 149,830, we are going to know that, okay, 0.830. We're going to know, okay, price moved what? Price moved 10 pip. Let's see. Let me use a something to mark it out. Look at this price range to like let you know before. See what it showed. Exactly 10 pip. See this number 0. Exactly 10 pip. So now price has just moved 10 pip. But psychological levels are 50 pip differences. 50 pip differences. Now I've taught you guys how to calculate 50 pips, right? I've taught you guys how to calculate 10 pips. So from layman understanding, just add 5 to your pip from your current price. Like instead of 10, put 50 there. So for example, USD being the current price, USD JPY being USD current price being 149.730. Now, what is going to be our 50 pip movement? We know that our first decimal place where we are going to start to calculate our 50 pips from. We're going to add plus 0.50, right? So our new price is going to be 1, if we do mass 0, 3, this 7 and 5, we're going to have like 2 over there. Move the 1, we're going to have 50.200, right? That's price has just moved 50 pips. So let me show you guys. Yeah, look at this. Now let me adjust these two. 230 rather. 230. So
Mommy.
kindly mute yourself. Thank you. So now from the current price which I calculated, which was this right here, price moved what? Price moved 50 pips from that current price that we have, 50 pips. And that's what I just marked right here. So how do we verify that? We use the price range 2. Don't know why all this stuff keep coming up. Man. Use the price range 2 like this. See, price just moved what? 50 pips. If you don't know where this tool is, go to this right left hand side. Check this point here. Price range. Left hand, price range. Check it out. Add it to your favorites. You're going to be needing it a lot while you're doing your breakdown. So now price has moved 50 pip, right? But that's not how to do it. But that's how to, like, be certain that these levels are, psychological levels. You feel me? So let's take it again. Why do psychological levels matter? Psychological levels are important in technicals because they can influence the behavior of traders. The human brain is naturally inclined, this paragraph is what I'm reading from. The human brain is naturally inclined to seek simplicity and order. In trading, this tendency results in a preference for round numbers and other easily recognizable patterns. As more market participants focus on these levels, they can become self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that everybody are focused on these levels, meaning that, okay, these levels will work. Do you understand? And I've tried it myself and I've seen it work. So you have to like be able to be plotting these levels as your significant support and resistance zone, because they will help you from plotting your support and resistance level carelessly, just anyhow. There are lots of support and resistance levels on your charts. When you go on your screen, let's look at it together. There are a lot of levels where buyers and sellers came into this market like this. You can see this now coming from this downtrend right here. The market was selling. Now there were resistance levels that were there. Market sold off this level there. Market came back up, sold off this level there. Market came back, sold off again. Do you get? So now how do you find the significant levels where to plot those levels? Not that everything becomes significant. That's where your psychological levels come into play. So now, for example, a significant level like 1 point in the euro and 1.00 in the euro USD currency PME attracts a substantial amount of attention from traders. As the price nears this level, some traders replace their orders, because they are expecting a reversal. This increased activity can result in price fluctuation around that psychological level, leading to trading opportunities for yourself. So now let me teach you how to figure out this level. So now this is a clean chart, right? Whenever you come to the chart, right, on a good day, and then you've found your trend, you've plotted your trend line on the chart. Now, if you can see this, you can see that on the daily time frame, price was previously selling from this point here down here. Price was what? Price was previously selling. Price was previously selling. Then at the point it found support, a support zone, and it started to buy again, right? So now after knowing your current trend, okay, how do you know your trend? When you see a series of higher highs and higher lows like that. Then after knowing your trend, what do? You bring out your trend line, you plot it out. You can see our trend line is first touch, second touch, extend it to the future. You can see that when extended to the future, price has now gotten to that trend line. See that when it touched it there, there's like a rejection backward, right? There's a weak rejection there. Now, after doing this, our next step is support and resistance. We are looking to find our significant support and resistance. Now, what you do is that you look at the current price and then you round it up. You give it a round up number. Now, the current price we have here is 149,730. You can all see it by this result, 149,730. So you bring out your horizontal line to you plot it on your chart like this. So now when it shows you 170, 730, 149, 730 like this. Now, what you do is that you find your whole number. How do you find your whole number? What's the whole number of this whole thing here? Is 179, 149, 700. That's going to be your psychological level at that point. Why? Because it is a whole number. Now, that whole number, you are going to calculate 50 pips from it. So now, from here, if we use our price range, we're going to look for 50 pips. So our next psychological level is going to be, somewhere around here. 149, let me see, let me add 50 pips to that current move. So let's calculate it together. This is why you have to have an idea of how to do pips calculation. 149.700. Now, how do we start our 50 pip calculation? From the first decimal point, right? So now 149.500. what we have 149, I think 150, 150.200, right? As if we had 50p from that current price level. Now, let's see. Let's plot it 149 to right. Now that's going to be our new level. Do you understand? That's going to be our new level. Do you understand? As if you're using, what's it called? If you're using your PIPS calculation to figure out how to plot your psychological level. Do you understand? Are you guys following me? Can you let me know so I'll proceed?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is an example of how to calculate the psychological levels, right? This is an example. Let me use another pair. Let me use USD. So now, I believe you all have this. You just have to like do yourself a favor, take a moment, use your laptop to like screenshot it, you know, go over it again because I want to clear it all out now. And so we move forward. All right. So boom. So how do you know your psychological levels from the current price that we're having now on GPS? Look at this level, right? Look at this level. Our current price level here is 1.27, 1.27372, right? And I told you that when we start to calculate 1 pip, is from the first decimal place, our 10 pip second decimal place, right? Sorry, let me go over that again. I think I made a mistake. Okay, our current price being our current price being 1.27372. Now we know we start to calculate our 1 pip from the 4 decimal place. If we check it out together, first decimal is 2, second decimal is 7, 3, 7. 7 is our 4 decimal place. That way our 1 pip start from. Our 10 pip start from our third decimal place. Our 100 pip start from our second decimal. Our 1,000 pip start from our fourth decimal. So now, how do you find your, what's it called, your psychological level in this price level? So when you come into the market and you see the current market price, right? Just like this, you are going to round up those numbers. Now, if you're rounding up 1.27372, our psychological level is going to be 1.27700. What can we see when price got to this point, this psychological level? What can we see? Price bounced off it. You can see so many reactions right there. Let me zoom in. Look at this zone there. When price got there, what did price do? Price rejected. Price came back again. Tested it. When he tested it, what did he do? He sold off. Right? I believe you guys are seeing it. When he came here again, he reacted again. He reacted again. Even when he broke it, he tested it again. He reacted again. You can see there's always reaction around those levels. Even at the current candlestick they're looking at, there's a reaction around those levels. Do you get? So now those are why these levels are important. So now we have the current psychological level being a round up number 1.27700. What is going to be our next psychological level? 50 points. 50 points away from our current zone. Meaning that, let's see, this is how it's going to be. We know that 1.2 700 is our current price because this is our current level, right? Then let's say we add 50 pips to it. Let's say we add 50 pips to it. We add 50 pips to it. So, and we know that our third decimal place is where our 50 pips is going to start from. So, what do we do? Add 50 pips to it. When we put it there, what are we going to have? 1.27500. Boom. You can see that's the next psychological level that we have. Meaning our new psychological level after this price, if we're going to add 50 pips again to it, we're going to add, we're going to have 1.2800, 1.28 thousand, rather, right? If you put it here, you're going to see that our new level is 1.28 thousand. If we check those levels out, price has previously respected it in the past. See, when price came here to this point, it tested it. Came here, tested it. Now, I use these psychological levels as my entry zones. I use them as my entry zones, right? I use them as my entry zones. So you guys should go back, do your own researches as you learn about support and resistance levels to like get better at it. So now, what are examples of psychological levels? Here are some examples of psychological levels. Round up numbers like this. These are price levels that end in 0 and 5. That's why it is 50 pip, is a 50 pip difference from each other. 50 pips, round up numbers. So it has to be rounded up for you to be a psychological level. This level is often seen as significant as they represent round up numbers and are easy to remember. Because when you go to a bank and you want to withdraw money, they don't give you 2,015 naira, they give you 2,500. When you want to withdraw extra money, they may give you like 3,000 naira, 3,500, 4,000 naira, 50K, 50,500, 55K. All those round up numbers like that and like that. So now that is how we use cycle. That's how to like, notify and use significance levels on your chart. So now how to treat psychological levels. Identify key levels. The first step in incorporating psychological level into your trading is identify the key levels relevant to the instrument you're trading, meaning that you have to understand how to calculate pips on your currency pair that you're trading. First of all, when you can calculate the pips, the way it moves, you can implement your psychological level on that particular pair. This can be done by observing historical price action and noting what's it called, round up numbers where price has previously shown significant reactions. Number two is that you monitor price action. Keep a close eye on how the price behaves as it approaches a psychological level point. So now when you're using psychological levels, you have to like pay attention. This is why practicing comes into picture. You have to see it work over time. That's why when I talk about trading, I talk about trading in a way that, okay, you have to spend your chart time, because when you spend time on the chart, that's only when you can be able to identify these things. You can be confident to use these things when they appear. Like the next thing is set your entry and exit point at these levels. So now my trading plan, this is how I enter the market and this is how I get out. I enter at a psychological level and I get out at a psychological level. When I started trading purely, I had no idea on how to use psychological levels. I was just using pure support and resistance. I noticed that, okay, I may take a trade at a support zone and then I get taken out. Why? Because that support, that psychological level, that zone I'm entering off, meaning support and resistance, does not hold liquidity. Liquidity means money. So now, these psychological levels, they are where money is at in the market. So meaning that, okay, where money is at, where you're going to enter, where money is at, where you're going to take your profit, because stop orders are going to be there. People are going to want to buy at those levels. People are going to want to sell at those levels. So those things. So now it says, once you identify a psychological level and observe price action around it, Use this information to set entry and exit points for your trade. For example, if price has bounced off a previous psychological support level, you might enter a long position. And in long, we know that the term long is used to buy in Forex. Do you understand? So now, what you guys are going to do for me is that now that I've explained this, go on your own, watch the video over again, learn how to calculate pips, start trying on your own to learn how, to go about identifying psychological level. So now, what we're going to do next, in our next class, we're going to be having understanding how the changes from a support, when its support zone is about to change from support to resistance, and when a resistance zone is no more strong enough and is changing to resistance to support. So now this is in the videos that I'm going to be dropping. Everything you need to know about support and resistance levels, I'm going to take you on it. Everything is a curriculum. Everything is step by step. So now it's a process. So that's why I'm not rushing in with you guys. You understand? I want you guys to understand so that when you start getting familiar with the market, it does not become foreign. You have everything you need to start your trading journey, to walk that journey of becoming a profitable financial trader. So I'm done for today, and I believe you guys learned something because this call is going to cut any minute from now. So let me know if you understand the class so far.